schedule. The first important, very important one, beginning of our class, we need to cultivate or we need to set up a right and pure motivation. Particularly, everybody cultivate bodhicitta. Within the generating bodhicitta, and we take refuge to the triple gems of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So when we take refuge, we always need to remember when we chant, I'll take refuge to the Buddha, you need to remember like two types of Buddha. One, all the Buddhas who already achieved the omniscient, the present Buddhas. The second Buddha, you need to remember this moment I am very simple and ordinary Buddhist. In the future, very swiftly, very quickly, I will achieve my own future Buddha. Mean taking refuge to the Buddha, we call the causal. Then second, not only taking refuge to the Buddha, you must think, I want to be Buddha, right? Second, when you say, I take refuge into Dharma, not just you are taking refuge to the actual Dharma, you must think in the future, I will accomplish the Dharma in my life. Also, when you say, I will take refuge to the Sangha, same way, I'm not only just taking refuge to the present Sanghas, in the future, I want to be Sangha. Correct? Sangha. When you think future, you should not think after many lifetimes. That means today or this evening, tomorrow morning, next month, next year, I want to be Sangha. I want to cultivate the path. I want to be Buddha in the futures. The future, many people, say, my future, I will secure my future. We think future is very far to come, right? But in the Kadamba master, in Tibet, they always, repeat one sentence. I don't know which one come first, tomorrow or my death, right? You must think, I'm not sure which one come first, tomorrow or my death. We never know when, our death come. So within this thought, also remember the 7 ideas. The first one, always need to remember, I am sick person. I am, a sick person, not only for few years, so millions of years, I am sick. If I don't practice the Dharma, if I don't take the medicine of Dharma, I will continuously sick, suffer for millions of years. So this moment, then you can see the urgency. Also, this life may be the first time maybe we achieve a human life. We became a human. All our previous life, maybe we were have been born into lower realms. So this life is a very important, very fortunate, kind of time for us. If we lose this opportunity, then we lose the opportunity, look like forever. Within the good motivation, we take refuge to the triple gem and generate bodhicitta. Page number 4. I go for refuge and enlightenment through the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha. By manipulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and enlightenment through the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Please take refuge to the Triple Gem until we become a Buddha. Also imagine all sentient beings, include your families, also taking refuge to the Triple Gem. Then related to the last two sentences, right? By my accumulations or practice of giving, so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Then how, we can be Buddha, how we will become a Buddha. And next, if we practice bodhicitta with the emptiness with the bodhicitta, then we will become Buddha. The next, generating bodhicitta. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mindful awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mindful awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today the Buddha in presence, I generate the mindful awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Visualize you are just, below all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and generate bodhicitta in front of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So every day, I said many times, every day when you have a little free time, you are not so busy, even though you are so busy, every moment, everybody, include me, myself, we try to cultivate bodhicitta as much as we can. Generating bodhicitta is the one of the best way, one of the superior way for accumulating merit. One of the superior way to purifying all the negative karmas. One of the superior way to achieving Buddhahood very quickly, very swiftly. Therefore, please, generate bodhicitta as much as we can. We try to be bodhisattva in 2024. Next, I will do the short summary about the Four Noble Truths. After Buddha become a fully enlightened being, so first 49 days in the common sense for the common people, he didn't give any teachings. He remained silently, just walking around the Bodhi tree. That time they are not named the Bodhi just around the tree. Then that moment, many celestial being and came to see him and pay respect and request him to teach a Dharma, share his knowledge to all sentient beings, to all human beings. And then first, what did he say to the, people who came to see him, particularly the celestial being? He said, actually, I realized or I discovered one of the profound, pure, clear, like a nectar, but nobody going to understand the teaching. Therefore, it's better to be silent for another few weeks. What does mean, profound, pure, free from the elaboration? Means the first teaching he shared with those people, which is emptiness, emptiness, emptiness. Emptiness doesn't mean there's a nothing, nothingness. Things are there, we cannot deny, but things are not there as we believe, as we see, as we perceive. For example, the impermanent. Generally, everybody believe, we think I understand what does mean impermanent, like changing, getting older, things broken, this thing. These are very gross level of impermanent. The actual meaning of impermanent is things changing momentarily. All phenomena around us stays or remain only one shortest moment, very shortest moment, then is changed into another, like a time. Things changing like so faster than the light, moving. So this division of the moving of the light is the faster moving. The impermanent is the faster than the light. So we don't understand, right? Therefore, we have ignorance. So things are there, but due to our own ignorance, we don't understand how things exist, how things are there. Therefore, we have a lot of confusion, we have a lot of misunderstanding. Therefore, due to the ignorance, due to the misunderstanding, due to the misperceptions, then, attachment arises, anger arises, ego arises within our mind. Therefore, Buddha first time he shared his knowledge, particularly about emptiness. Then he moved to Varanasi, want to share his knowledge with the 5 important disciples, which is the 4 noble truths. Okay, if you feel a bit difficult, you can move your legs. Okay, yeah, you can stretch. Feel free. Anybody feel a little bit uncomfortable, feel free, stretch your leg and hands, please. 4 noble truths. Everybody can understand what does mean 4 noble truths, truth of suffering. Then second is origin of suffering. Third is the cessation of the suffering and the cause of suffering. Then the path to the cessation. 4 noble truths is very important. It's like a foundation of all the Buddha. All Buddha teachings is based on the Four Noble Truths. You should not think it's too easy. I want to study more profound one. If you really understood the Four Noble Truths, the second, if somebody talk about impermanence, renunciation, bodhicitta, emptiness, then you feel makes sense. Otherwise, without Four Noble Truths, the teacher teach you very profound teaching. You think, oh, it's very profound, it's very important, but you don't have the feeling. You think this is very important. Four Noble Truths is very important. The Four Noble Truths, the first Buddha just introduced only the four truths to the suffering, then origin of the suffering, then the cessation of suffering and the cause of suffering, and the path to lead to the cessation. There's a true set of cause and effect. Right? The origin of suffering is the cause. Suffering is the effect or result. In the samsaric, cause and effect. So then cessation is a result or effect. Then the path is the cause and effect. All right? So here what we need to realize, for example, if you wish to grow very beautiful, flower, which you very much like it, you really want to grow one of the beautiful, flower, then what do you need? What do you need? You need a cause. You need a seeds. Then you need a kind of, like a place or container, or you need something to grow the seeds. Then all the secondary condition, the water, soil, so and so. Without seeds, no matter how you have a strong wishing to grow, a beautiful flower, you cannot. It's practical, it cannot, right? Cannot. Therefore, the cause, then there will be an effect. Therefore, here what we need to realize from our heart, I have a sufferings. Not only me, those beings who are in samsara, everybody has a, equal suffering. You cannot find any of the Singaporean say, I don't have a problems. You cannot find one single person who said on the planet, I don't have a suffering. Everybody has sufferings and problems. But then all the problem and suffering is come from where? Come from where? Come from the cause. What are the cause? As a seed, as a root, is a ignorance. Then ignorance cause in arising attachment, anger, all the negative thoughts. Right? When we have a negative thoughts, then what happens second? All the actions. Right? When you get angry, you fight. You use all the harsh words. Also make you feel very, suffering. That means you see anger and action. All the negative thoughts always bring, negative action, produce negative actions. Then the negative action always brings suffering. Then cause and suffering. Therefore, we talk about in Buddhism, very common, many lamas says, many masters say, oh, you have a suffering, you have a problem because you have a lot of negative karma, right? Commonly said like the negative karma, purify negative karma. This is one type of teachings. Many lama don't say, oh, you have all the negative karma because of the negative thoughts. Because of the negative thoughts, because of the ignorance. Right? Ignorance, then all the negative thoughts, then the negative action, then all the suffering, and cause and effect. The second set of cause and effect, cessation is our achievement, right? Cessation or liberation or Buddhahood are our objective we wish to achieve. Now here we have another problem. Everybody wish to be Buddha, which is very good, wonderful thoughts you have. Then immediately what we do, I want to be Buddha, I want to accumulate merit. It's good. Then whole our life finish with the accumulating merit, purifying negative karma. We never try to cultivate the actual part. Actual part. Therefore, like me, including me, I became a monk when I was 10 years old. But I became a monk without knowing nothing. Even though I don't know that, I didn't know Dharma, Buddha, don't know. My parents asked me to, you want to be married or you want to be a monk. Simple, I said, I want to be a monk. They just sent me to the monastery. I don't know anything. Then for after age of 16, I moved to South India for study Buddhism. Also, another 10 years, I was just studying Dharma as like a general knowledge. Look like I'm in the school. I don't have a really, feeling like Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Karma, just studying Dharma, right? Then slowly, then my teacher, I think very kind, very wise. Then slowly, the teacher asked, you're not just study Dharma, you need to practice. You need to practice. What does mean practice Dharma? Again, we have a same misunderstanding. Recite many millions of times. Recite this mantra, this prostration, this millions of times. No. I'm not saying those are not good. We must do prostration. We must do recitation. We must do chanting. The most important one is we need to practice. We need to cultivate the path. Right? Cultivate the path. Without cultivation, the path, there's no way we can achieve Buddhahood. Therefore, the cessation, then the path to lead to the cessation. Right? Therefore, the last time I said, achieving Buddhahood, we don't need to go anywhere. We need to achieve Buddhahood within ourselves, within our mind. Renunciation from the heart, bodhicitta from our heart, liberation within ourselves, path within ourselves. There's no path we can walk, right? No, we need to cultivate. Therefore, cessation is a result, cause effect, and the path is the lead to the cessation. Right? Very practical cessation. Therefore, first Buddha said, this is suffering, this is origin of suffering. So this is cessation. So this is the path lead to the cessation. Just simply for number 2. The second what Buddha said, we need to realize suffering, not suffering. Suffering need to be realized. The origin of suffering need to be eliminated. Cessation need to be achieved. Then the path lead to cessation need to be cultivated. Cultivate, right? Cultivate. Then more detail. Suffering, realize. Origin of suffering, eliminate. Cessation, achieve. How to achieve? Through cultivation of the path. Then the last one, what he said in the Four Noble Truth, realizing suffering is not just realizing with a gross mind, very special, like mind, high kind of level of the mind. That means you need to do like meditation every day. Do meditation little bit today and little bit tomorrow. Then one day you can really feel, not just understand. You can feel, my body is the basis of suffering. The nature is suffering. Right? Look at how many types of medicine we have. How many doctors we have in Singapore, within the Singapore. Singapore is not, very big country, but we have a lots of, many hospital, many doctors and nurses and medicine. For what? Is for the cure for the sickness. We have all kinds of sickness because of the body, this body, this body. Therefore, according to the Hindu tradition, there's a one tradition that says we need to torture our body. Therefore, some of the Hindu tradition, they, practice Hinduism. Finally, they burn themselves. Sometimes they stay in the hot sun, maybe like a whole day. Sometimes they don't eat any gross food for many, many months. They mean they say this is the basis of suffering. We need to torture, right? So according to Buddha, said, no. That means you're angry with your body. No, if you don't want this body, if you don't want suffering, what Buddha said, you need to eliminate the origin of suffering. You cannot give a lot of torture. Eliminate. Right? Exactly same what the Maitreya Buddha said. The suffering have to be, the sickness have to be eliminated. The medicine need to be taken. So when you take the medicine constantly, the sickness going to be eliminated. You're going to cure the sickness. Very practical, right? Therefore, cultivate the path with the higher through the higher realizations for noble truth. Therefore, each truth is like three, totally 12 times. Then at the end, what Buddha said, until I realize the Four Noble Truth, until I eliminate the origin of suffering and the suffering, until I cultivated the path, until I achieved the cessation, I wasn't able to overcome from the samsara suffering. It's a kind of conclusion. What Buddha said, if you don't want suffering, eliminate the origin of suffering. If you want to achieve cessation, what you need to do? You need to cultivate the path. So how we should cultivate, right? The cultivation, not going to happen through recitation, chanting, prostration. Those are the secondary cause, not the primary cause, right? For example, if you are very angry, you are not happy with one person in Singapore, let's say your neighbors, you are not really, or you are not really happy with your neighbor, what do you wish? You always wish, I don't want to see my neighbors. I wish I don't see them. This is one way. Somehow you're going to see them. Somehow you're going to meet them. Somehow they're going to talk to you, right? This is not the right solution to control your anger. Am I right? No. What then? That means you not just, ignore your neighbors. You need to find out why I'm angry with my neighbors. Then, after you realize because this and that, then you cultivate compassion towards your neighbors. Then the compassion can be the best antidote to control your anger towards whom? Whom? Your neighbors, right? So you are angry with your neighbors. You are cultivating compassion for someone who living in another place. It doesn't work, right? You have a kind of headache problem, then you are taking the diarrhea medicine, the medicine. It doesn't work. So all our practice until today like that. We always say, oh, I wish all Sanjay be happy. It's okay, right? You can think. I can think, I wish all sentient be happy. Then if somebody asks, if you wish your enemy be happy, then I say, I don't think so. No. Therefore, we need to practice Dharma, start from a very particular way, then we can cultivate the path. Like, the origin of suffering, like angry origin of suffering. But due to the, anger, then we have so many problems. This is suffering. Totally free from anger is like a cessation, right? You able to overcome from the anger because you cultivate the compassion. You cultivate, bodhicitta. Therefore, bodhicitta is the path. Overcome, able to free from the anger is like a cessation. Then, being unhappy is a suffering. The anger is the cause of suffering. Even though each of the negative thoughts has you can relate with the Four Noble Truths. Clear? Four Noble Truths. This is kind of the conclusion for the Four Noble Truths. Then, within the Four Noble Truths, the first truth of suffering, has a four characteristic, four kind of, aspect. First aspect. In order to understand the truth of suffering, we need to know the four things. You heard many times the 16 aspect of the Four Noble Truths. First truth has a four aspects. What are they? Impermanence, impermanence, then suffering, then emptiness, selflessness. Selflessness, no self, selflessness, right? First, impermanent, suffering, emptiness, selflessness. Now look at, within the Four Noble Truths, Buddha taught truth of suffering. Within the four aspects of the truth of suffering, Buddha taught first impermanent, right? Therefore, our practice of Dharma, we need to start from the impermanence. We always remember impermanence. Therefore, you very easy to control, anger, attachment, ego, jealousy, right? Jealousy. Therefore, first, impermanent. Also, origin of suffering has a four characteristic path. Since each of the four truth has a four aspects or four characteristic. This one we learn slowly when we study the Rice Seedling Sutra. Right? This is a kind of summary of the Four Noble Truths. Then also I explain you why we say the four is the number four. Number four, right? Number four. The noble truth. What does mean noble truth? Because it's an English word, noble. It's not really the exact meaning in the Sanskrit. In the Sanskrit, we say the, truth of the Arya. Arya. For example, suffering of suffering, we also accept is suffering. Also the Arya, also they can accept, suffering of suffering is the suffering. This suffering of change, we cannot accept, right? Suffering of change, no, so it's a happiness, it's a pleasure, no suffering. It's not truth for us. Therefore, suffering of change is the truth to the Arya. Arya, okay, Arya. What does mean Arya? We are ordinary beings, very ordinary beings. Ordinary doesn't mean, we are very poor. No, ordinary beings mean our concept, our understanding is a very ordinary. Then the being who studied Dharma for many years, then the person realizes the actual truth of the all phenomena. Then we name what? Arya. Arya. Therefore, you can see in Sutra, Arya, Arhato, Samya, Sambuddhaya. Arya. Yeah, so in Tibetan we say Pakpa. Pakpa means, like a extraordinary compared with us. Therefore, the number four, suffering, origin of suffering, cessation, part of the cessation or the truth is a real to the according to the Arya, right? The Four Noble Truth. And also the Four Noble Truth is not really, uh, created by Buddha. It's not invented by Buddha. Buddha realized that he shared his experience with the disciple. For example, impermanent. Buddha was there or not. Things are always be impermanent. Like you look at around, which thing is not impermanent? Which things, our body, our mind, our belongings, everything around us are impermanent. It is not really, invented by Buddha. It's not really created by Buddha through his study. So he realized impermanent, subtle impermanent. Emptiness. Emptiness is very, important concept in Buddhism. Also, emptiness is not really invented or created by Buddha. It's always there. Therefore, Buddha said in the Mil Sutra, Buddha exists or not exists there. The nature of phenomena is always emptiness. Right? Now, here what is not good to say in the commonly, actually Buddhism is a universal religion. Anybody can practice, whether you are Hindu, Christian, Muslim, free thinker, anybody can practice, anybody can benefit. Because Buddha taught the truth and reality, right? The Four Noble Truth, practice compassion, understanding emptiness is a universal religion. Right? Therefore, if you believe in Buddhism, you can practice Four Noble Truth. If you are believe in other religion, also you can practice Four Noble Truth. You become more closer to the reality, Four Noble Truth, right? So you should not think the Four Noble Truth is invented by Buddha Shakyamuni. He realized, he discovered through study. Now remember then also why, how he really realized the Four Noble Truths. Because many times when he studied with his teachers, very famous, very renowned teachers, he always asked the question. What question? He asked to them, why we have a suffering? Where suffering is come from? Can we end? The suffering can be ended or not? Then everybody has a same answer. We have all the suffering because of the God. You want happiness, then pray to the God. God also not the right word, also you can use the common way. They say, like Bhagavan. Hindu say Bhagwan. Therefore, sometimes, in India, the Hindus people has a very simple way to stop suffering. Simple way to, be in sufferings. If there's a lot of problem, they say, whatever problem we have is created by Bhagavan, he knows. He said he knows why we have suffering. Don't be so upset. Also, sometimes there's a very simple way, also good for us. Whatever things happen in our life, there's a good reason behind it. Good thing happen, therefore it's a good. There's a good reason to be bad happening. Bad thing happen. That someday also we might think, oh, I have all this problem, maybe there's a good reason to be having a lot of problems. Someday you can see they have a very simple way to overcome any kinds of problem. Say this way. Okay, now we open the Rice Seedling Sutra. Rice Seedling Sutra. Okay, the Rice Seedling Sutra, homage to the old Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, right? Homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. This is the edit words edited by the Tibetan translators. So some of you may be the first time here. In Tibet, one of the king, Tirong Dezen, he made rules or law. He said in the future, any of Tibetan translator going to translate, Buddhism into Tibetan language. Either you need to pay homage to the Manjushri or Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and omniscient. Three homage. One, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Second, maybe Manjushri. Third, maybe omniscient. Then look at when you open this homage to all Buddha and Bodhisattvas, this teaching is included into like a sutra basket. Sutra basket. When you open a book at the beginning, homage to the Manjushri, this teaching, part of the Abhidharma basket. Abhidharma, like a teaching, Abhidharma Sutra. At the beginning, it's a homage to the omniscient. This teaching include into, part of the Vinaya. Very simple. He said, at the beginning, you must say, if the teaching is a Vinaya teaching, homage to the omniscient. This teaching is like a sutra, homage to Buddhas and Bodhisattva. This teaching is Abhidharma, then homage to whom? Manjushri. Here's a good reason. Then why the translator, need to pay homage to omniscient if the, teaching is Vinaya? Why? Because the Vinaya is kind of, like a rules and regulation, right? Regulation, rules or law for the, monks and nuns. Rules for, monks and nuns. This rule and the law, nobody can change at all. Nobody except the Buddha Shakyamuni. Even the Amida Buddha, Manjushri, Tara, whoever come on the planet, they cannot change the Vinaya rules. Yeah, so omniscient Buddha, only Buddha has the authority to change the law of the, monks and nuns. Nobody can change. Then if the teaching is, like a sutra, then homage to Buddha and Bodhisattvas. This teaching, has the authority to, change different, the teachings, ways can be changed by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, not the subject. Then, if the teaching is included into Abhidharma basket, Abhidharma Sutra, pay homage to whom? Manjushri. Why? Because the Abhidharma, the basket or Abhidharma teaching, the most important subject is emptiness. Emptiness. If you pay homage to the Manjushri, you can develop your wisdom, then you can easily going to realize emptiness. Right? Therefore, this teaching included into like a sutra basket, Vinaya basket, Abhidharma basket. Basket is also English word. Then the same way, thus I heard at one time the Bhagavan was residing on the Vulture Peak mountain in the Rajgarh. Therefore, many have already visited the Vulture Peak mountain in the India. This is the place first and Buddha gave the Prajna Paramita teaching. Therefore, the place is we believe is a very important, very blessed land. Also, again, there's another problem because when Buddhism translated into Western language, the common language is English. They use all the English words when the Buddhism translated into Western country. Many of the English words, like a holy, also is come from the Christian tradition. For Buddhists, we must say the Vulture Peak, Varanasi, Bodh Gaya are the blessed land, blessed by Buddha, blessed land. We should not say, it's a holy land, blessed land. All the Tibetan people also, we say, it's a very important kind of, the root place, right? Vulture Peak, Rajgir, with a large Sangha of 1,250 bhikshus and with a great many bodhisattvas, mahasattva at that time. The Venerable Shariputra went to the place frequented by the bodhisattva, mahasattva Mitriya. That means that Mitriya bodhisattva was there. Then Shariputra, visit to the Mitriya Buddha. And after exchanging courtesy upon meeting each other, they both sit both on the flat rock. That means you need to know the kind of, the story. So Buddha was the Vulture Peak. That time there are 1,250 bhikshus and include Shariputra and Mitriya. We must say Mitriya Bodhisattva. We should not say Mitriya Buddha, Mitriya Bodhisattva. The Shariputra went to see whom? Mitriya Bodhisattva, Mitriya. And then they have a casual talk. Then both of them sit down on where? Sit on where? Flat rock. This kind of wood is very important. That in the Buddha lifetime, even though when Buddha gave a Parajana Paramita teaching in the Vulture Peak, there wasn't, like a very expensive kind of, throne. Simply, all the Sangha, they put their, they call the religious robe, they fell together and put it back as a throne. The Buddha just sit and give a teaching. Even though many of the, Arya and Arhato, when they give a teaching, they just simply sit on the simple kind of, simple place, a throne. Then slowly, because Buddhism, flourished to Tibet, and in Tibet also, already have the culture to, the king have to stay with a high throne because maybe the Chinese influence. When the Buddhism flourished to Thailand, also Thailand already have the culture, the king have to be seated on the very high throne. Normally, it's not the Buddhist tradition, but it's said very commonly, when you receive teaching from your guru, the guru must stay little bit higher place. A higher place. Flat rock. The Venerable Shariputra then said to the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Mitriya, then Venerable, Shariputra asked a question to whom? Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Mitriya. Mitriya, the question is here. Today, the Bhagavan, gazing at the Rice Seedling, spoke this affirms, right? Affirms? Affirms, yeah. Simply, that means Buddha was, I think, walking in the field, and the Buddha just gazing to the field. The Buddha said just few lines to the bhikshus. Bhikshus, whoever sees, please read, dependent arising, sees the Dharma. Whoever sees the Dharma, sees the Buddha. The simple, this word, only this word. Whoever sees dependent arising, sees Dharma. Whoever sees the Dharma, sees the Buddha. Then, having said this, the Bhagavan fall silent. With a simple, just they said that. Whoever sees the dependent arising, sees Dharma. Whoever sees Dharma, sees the Bhagavan. Bhagavan, right? Then Buddha just fall into, Buddha will be silent. Then Shariputra got a question, what does mean? Whoever sees dependent arising, sees Dharma, sees the Bhagavan. What does mean dependent arising? What does mean Dharma? What does mean Bhagavan? Bhagavan. What is the meaning of this aphorism spoke by the Sugata? Sometimes you can see the word Sugata, sometimes the Bhagavan. Right? What's the difference between these two words? Bhagavan is a Sanskrit and Sugata also Sanskrit words. What does mean Bhagavan? The Bhagavan word translated into Tibetan. Bhagavan is just one word, Bhagavan. Then Tibetan used the two words, Sangye. Right? Many people said Sangye Chodam, Soye Chodam. There's a Sangye. Two words. Sangye. What does mean sang? Fully awake. Fully awake. Right? Awake. Fully awake. Sang. Ye means fully develop. Fully awaken, then fully develop. Means he totally eliminate all the negativities, include all the negative, imprints. Not just eliminate all the negative thoughts, include ignorance. On the other hand, he fully develop all the positivities. Sangye. Therefore, our aim, right, as a Buddhist, our aim is not just to want to be famous, want to be rich, want to have a lot of kind of name and fame. Not at all. As a Buddhist, what is our objective? Become Bhagavan. Fully eliminating all the negativities, include ignorance. That means you don't go have any negativities. One hand. Other hand, you want to develop, right? You want to develop all the positivities. I mean, Buddha have all the positivities, all the qualities. Right? Then we have a question here. Do really, Buddha possess all the good qualities or not? The answer is yes. Yes, Buddha possess all the good qualities. How and why? How, I mean, if you don't have any like a negative quality, negative qualities, all the negative qualities eliminate, the opposite is you're going to have only positive quality. These are logics. Therefore, Bhagavan means fully awakening, fully eliminated all the negativities. Only note that fully develop, fully gain all the knowledge. That means Bhagavan. Tathagata, Tathagata. For example, the Harshudara said, Teyatha. Then gate, prasangate, buddhiso, Teyatha. That means Tathagat means uh, goes or walks towards the liberation as the previous Buddha. Tathagata means, Buddha Shakyamuni, he became a Buddha. He walked through the path as the previous Buddha. Mean all before him, in the historically, there were another like 3 Buddhas already came on the planet. He became Buddha as practice the path, as the previous Buddha. I mean, Tathagata means he achieved Buddhahood, follow the path, which is the previous Buddha also follow the path, same path. That means Tathagata, right? Mean in Tibetan also, Teijin mean like S, the previous Buddha, he followed the path, achieved the Buddhahood, Tathagata. So first, what are the question? Please read. Whoever sees dependent arising sees the Dharma. Whoever sees the Dharma sees the Buddha. These 3 lines are very important as a beginner. Right? So first, we need to understand, we need to realize dependent arising. Okay, dependent arising. When you really understood the dependent arising, then you're going to understand the Dharma. Okay, Dharma. When you really understood, when you really cultivate the Dharma, then you're going to be Buddha. Right? What does mean, like cultivate Dharma again? You need to, in the common word, we can say, you need to grow bodhicitta within your mind. You need to grow renunciation within your mind, right? Mind. Otherwise, no matter how many years you do recitation and chanting, you cannot really achieve. We 100% sure we're not going to achieve Buddhahood, liberation. We cannot. Therefore, first, we need to understand dependent arising. Then Dharma will cultivate. Then, Bhagavan or, Buddha can be achieved. So, dependent arising is a very unique kind of, concept in Buddhism. None of the ancient time in India, there was only, one religion, which is Hinduism, right? Now we have a Christianity, we have a Islam, we have a Judaism, we have a other like a tradition. When you honestly study, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, honestly study, you cannot find the words dependent arising. Cannot, right? Dependent arising. So why the concept is so important? First, this many people say it's very scientific. Scientist is not important at all. You should not think whatever scientists say can be truth forever. Cannot. Many people, why? It's real because it's very scientific. No, we should not say that. Then why is so important to realize dependent origination? We must say it's so important because we want to know the reality. We want to know the truth. You are Buddhist or non-Buddhist, somehow I want to know the reality. We want to know the truth of the phenomenon. So yeah, you are trying to understand how things exactly exist, how things are there, right? So when you study, with a honest mind, be honest. When you study, again, look at when you come in, when you enter in this hall, how do you feel? Very cool. Walk out, what will you feel? Hot. Then why inside is cool, cooling, outside is hot? Why? The cool air. The cool air is around here. How and why? Because of the air conditions. Now, how the air condition is functioning? Because of the electricity. Electricity come from where? Through the wire. The wire go all the way to where the big generator or big kind of energy place. Right? Then how the big generator is functioning because of the gas, because of the oil, because of the solar. Now you can see it's the air around here is dependently arise, dependently come, not independent, right? Dependent. Therefore, cooling because of the dependent on many causes condition. Outside, weather is very hot because of the sun, because of the air, because of the traffic. What is also hot? Therefore, it's a truth, right? Dependent arising. So when you understand dependent arising means not just intellectually you understood that you really need to understand the dependent arising. When you understood the dependent arising, then let's say last night you have an argument with someone, or your friend, your family, your neighbor, your boss. You have a big argument. This morning, do you feel happy? No, no, right? Nobody. No matter you are Buddhist, non-Buddhist, monks or none, when you wake up in the morning, if you didn't, clear all the negative thoughts, when you wake up in the morning, you feel very upset. Also, you feel very worried, right? Right? Feel worried. And when you get angry, upset, early morning, when you feel very upset, whom you going to point your finger towards? A boss, your father, your mother, you say, oh, my boss is very bad. My father is very bad. My brother, my neighbor, always pointing thought out. We never think the argument is happening because it's part of my problem, part of their problem. Come two together. If you think this way, then the upsetness, angry, unhappiness is going to reduce on the halfway, or it reduces half. Right? Then still you think, yes, it's my problem, but also, their problem, and how we solve the problem. Many people, not happy in this day who work for the company. They say, oh, my boss giving me, a lot of work. I'm very stressful. I cannot finish the job. My boss is very bad. Right? Also, we must think the boss doesn't have a choice. The boss also have another boss. Another boss, another boss. They're pressuring each other. The pressure come all the way to you. You think, yes, it's not my boss problem. It's like our system is like that. Therefore, dependent arising. If you feel suffering, also is arising from causes and condition. You want happiness, also it must arise from causes and condition. Therefore, here we have a one big lesson, important lesson. Do you want happiness? You wish to be happy? Yes, of course. Again, no matter you're old, young, Buddhist, non-Buddhist, rich, poor, no matter, everybody want to be happy, right? Wish to be happy. If you want to be happy, what you have to do? You need to control the cause of suffering. You need to generate the cause of happiness. Am I right? For example, you need a more like a cool air, but you need to increase the number. You need to like a less like a cooling, or decrease the number, right? Then we want to happiness, increase your cause of happiness, decrease the cause of suffering. But we are not really increasing the decreasing of the number of cause of happiness and cause of suffering. We just counting the cause of suffering. We just counting the cause of happiness. We are not really generating. Therefore, we're doing 100 prostration, 100 mantra, millions of mantra, visiting all the holy place. No, we are not really increasing the number, decrease the number. We just counting the number, right? Therefore, first is the dependent arising. So when you understand dependent arising, what is the opposite of the dependent arising? Independent arising. Dependent opposite is independent arising. Independent existent. Just forget about Dharma, right? Forget about Buddhas. If somebody asks you a question, if you think yourself, is there kind of independent existent? Independent exists phenomenon around you? Independent exists? Anything? Cannot. Something there independently? Nothing. Nothing can be independent. Think about something, you can say this independent. Yeah. In the common language, we can say, Singapore is independent country. Now, this definition of independent country is a different meaning, right? We don't need to depend in other country. We exist by, ourselves. Commonly, we can say, if you study closely each of the phenomena, every phenomena is dependent on something. Nothing can be independent. Therefore, when you understand dependent arising, then you're going to understand emptiness. When you're going to understand emptiness, you're going to, you're able to control ignorance. That means Dharma will, establish in your mind. When the Dharma established in your mind, then Buddha can be achieved. The next question here, right? Again, Shariputra asked the question to Mitriya, what is the dependent arising? What's the question number 2? What is the question number 2? What is the Dharma? What is the Buddha? Then second question, how does one see Dharma by seeing dependent arising? How does one see Buddha by seeing the Dharma? See Buddha, not seeing by eyes. It said how to achieve, how you can be Buddha. Two sets of questions, right? Please read one more. The question number 1 and 2, 3. What is the dependent arising? Number 2, what is the Dharma? What is the Buddha? The next one, see Dharma by seeing dependent arising. Second, how does one see Buddha by seeing dependent Dharma? Now you can see the connectivity. Achieving Buddhahood very much depend on seeing the Dharma, right? Seeing the Dharma. Seeing Dharma is very much dependent on seeing the dependent arising. There's a link. If you see dependent arising, you can see the Dharma. When you see Dharma, you can see the Buddha. Without seeing arising, you cannot see Dharma. Without seeing Dharma, you cannot see Buddha. Therefore, as a beginner, first important study, what we need to study about dependent arising. Second, then we need to study things are dependently exist. The opposite is independent existence. Mean you're going to understand emptiness. That means the actual or ultimate dharma. When you realize emptiness, then Buddhahood is next to you. Next to you. How I can say next to you? Because when we realize emptiness, so we're going to understand that ignorance is a wrong mind, mistaken mind. Ignorance, perceive things as a independent. The wisdom can perceive things as a dependent. So independent existence and dependent existence is totally opposite each other. But when you see ignorance is really mistaken mind, ignorance is the concept you're wrong, that means the rest of the negative thoughts is going to control very easily. For example, okay, let's say like a fake. This we want to call AIC, right? Intelligent, yeah, artificial intelligence, AIC, right? Artificial, but these days still we can see there's no real human, right? It's a robot. In the future, actually they will come. We cannot differentiate is a human, real human, or artificial one. We're not going to understand. We very difficult to differentiate. Let's say somehow one of the company produce thousands of very attractive people in Singapore. Very attractive, more attractive than the normal human beings. We don't understand that. Then the mentor, wow, this lady is so pretty. You have an attachment, right? On the lady, wow, this man is so attractive. You have an attachment. When you see the person, you feel happy. When you don't see the person, you feel upset. Then all the negative thoughts come, right? Then somehow one day you realize, the person is artificial one. All the thoughts are finished, right? No attachment, no anger, no upset, nothing. Exactly like that. When you see, realize emptiness of the all phenomena, all the negative thoughts going to be controlled, going to be ceased, right? So therefore, this word is very important. Everybody must remember. Then related to the question number one, that the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva Mitriya, they replied to the Venerable Sharadevatiputra, Venerable Shariputra, with regard to the what dependent arising is in the statement made by Bhagavan, the Lord of the Dharma, the omniscient. One bhikshu, however, sees dependent arising, see Dharma, whoever see Dharma, see the Buddha. Well, the phrase dependent arising mean, okay, the phrase dependent arising mean, please read. Something is born because something else was already born. Number one. Number two, that is to say, ignorant cause formation. Formation cause consciousness. Consciousness cause name and form. Name and form cause six sense sources. Six sense sources cause contact. Context cause sensation. Sensation cause craving. Craving cause operation. Operation cause becoming. Birth and death, aging and death, sorrow, elimination, suffering, unhappiness, distress, and disturbance, turmoil. Those dust is the entire great shape of the suffering arise. So until next Sunday, so please everybody must remember the 12 links dependent origination. 12, there's total 12 number, right? The first link, Dharma, well, the phrase dependent arising means there's something arise, right? There's something arise because something else already exists. Number one, something is born because something else was already born. These are very important. This something exists because something else already exists. Second, something is born because something else was already born. That is to say, ignorant cause formation. There's three phrases, okay? First, something arises because something already exists. Now it's some like way. For example, you feel suffering, right? You feel suffering or you feel happiness. So in your mind, suffering arising, happiness arising. Then why happiness and suffering arise within you? Something already exists. That means the cause of the suffering, the cause of the happiness already there. Therefore, suffering arises, happiness arises. Right? Let me look at here. The walls, the everything around here is exists because something already exists. This concept, this phrase is very important to rejecting, the creator, you can say the God. So in Buddhism, in the Buddhist tradition, we don't have a concept of creator. We don't have a concept of God because something, the first something arises because something else already exists. Right? There's no creator. There's no God who created, created all the universe, nothing. There's no creator. Therefore, for example, day before, we have a quite heavy raining, right? Rain heavily in Singapore. Why? Something else already exists. The condition of the heavy raining is already there. Therefore, we got a heavy raining. This morning weather was very, very cool, very nice because the cause of the nice weather already exists. Therefore, weather is very nice. Right? Therefore, happiness we wish to achieve. Also, we must have the cause and condition to achieve happiness. The suffering we face for 24 hours because the cause of the suffering is already exists. Now, here, what we learn, what lesson we learn, everything around us is caused by exists, function because of the causes and condition. They reject the notion of God. So what the second phrase? Something is born because something else was already born. That means, yes, normally we can say there's a cause, therefore there's a effect. Correct? It's correct. Then the cause is, or the cause are impermanent. Therefore, the result also impermanent. Impermanent cause cannot produce permanent result. Also, permanent cause cannot produce impermanent result. The cause is impermanent, therefore the result is impermanent. Right? Now here what we going to learn the lesson. Actually, there's nobody behind, there's no one behind thing has changing. Like us, right? When we were born, we have a small baby, it come in the hand, very small baby. Then we become, grow and become bigger, teenager. Every day, every moment, we are getting older. Why we have to be old? We don't want it. Nobody want to be old, right? Everyone want to be youthful forever. We don't want to be old, right? Then why we are getting older? Why? Why? Nobody asks you to you become old, right? It's natural. You can say naturally getting old. There's no such a naturally because the cause we were born to be because of the cause. The cause is already impermanent. Therefore, our body is impermanent. Therefore, our body is getting older and older because of the cause, right? Cause. Therefore, the cause is impermanent. All the produce in all the productions are impermanent. There's no permanent cause. There's no permanent result. It also reject the notion of permanent cause. Clear? First, reject, deny the concept of God. Second, deny, or you can say, reject the notion of permanent cause. What is the third one? That is to say, ignorant cause formation. Yes, now we can understand cause and effect. Effect come from the cause. Then one can, it is possible, one cause can produce everything. It is possible. One cause can produce everything. It is possible. Possible? No, right? It is impossible. One cause can produce everything. It is impossible. Therefore, in order to produce particular, very particular, exception kind of effect, we need very particular cause. Like, you want to grow mango tree. What do you need? Mango seeds. Mango seeds. Particular cause. You wish to grow like barley. We need barley seeds. That means, cause produce the effect, but all cause cannot produce everything. One cause cannot produce everything. Particular cause produce particular result. For example, ignorance cause formation. That this, this we call, this last sentence reject the notion of, like a kind of powerless cause. Therefore, each cause has a very particular power, particular energy to produce particular fact. And also in Buddhism, normally we say it happened naturally. There's nothing happen naturally. Everything happened because of the particular causes and condition. Clear? Then also, when we say, the cause, effect and cause. Then here what are we going to learn? Also at Buddhist, we always talk, and sometimes I also get, kind of feel annoying. Someone come, I have this problem, it's my karma. Everything, whatever happened in this life, we thought is our karma. It can be our karma, can be our own mistake, can be our, misbehavior. somebody fall down somewhere, broke their leg, broken their ankle. Do you think it's a karma? Maybe karma, maybe careless, right? Careless. For example, when you walk in the metro, you really bump with someone very strongly. The person get angry, you have a fighting, the person punch you a few times. Do you think it's a karma? Because you're walking with you are not walking with a mindfulness. You're just walking randomly, then you punch, then people get angry, then people punch you. You should not think everything happened by karma. But surely, whatever happened, everything happened by cause and condition. Right? Okay, so now it's 11. So why not we have some Q&A? Otherwise, instead of having meditation, I will tell you something. Any question? Okay. It's a kind of culture in Singapore, Singaporean cultures. Sometimes you feel very uncomfortable asking question to the teacher or guru. You must ask a question. Buddha asks, whatever I teach you, you must question to me. Buddha said, so you have a right to ask question. If you're not so clear, if you have a doubt, you must ask question. Asking question is very good, it's not bad. Right? It must. Then on the Wednesday is the full moon day, right? Wednesday is traditionally Vesak is for 1 month. 1 month Vesak month. Then the 15th is the particular, the Vesak day. Vesak day, so because some of you are living, far away from the temple, there's no, like Sangha or Lama or Rinpoche who can give you the vows, 8%, right? 8% vows. Simple, what you can do. When you wake up early morning, let's say, 5:30, first, when you wake up early morning, you remember today is the full moon day. Today is the Vesak day. I will take the Mahayan at precept vows, have a motivation. Then you can take a shower, and you can have a breakfast. It's too early, and you just go in front of the Buddha statue, in front of the Buddha's picture or painting. Just go in front there. Then you do 3-time prostration. 3 prostration. Then you think, in the past, all the Buddhas who achieved Buddhahood, who become a Buddha, who achieve omniscience, all of them become Buddha because of practicing the 8 precept vows. In the future, who will become Buddha, they also will practice the 8 precept vows. Therefore, this morning, I will take the 8 precept vows in front of the Buddha. Right? Then you can chant, or if you cannot chant, you just simply just ask, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas come to your place, come in front of you. Then you can imagine all the Buddhas are here, particularly, the Buddha Shakyamuni is in front of me. You just visualize. Then 3 times you should think. 3 times, you think 3 times. Since now, from now onward, until tomorrow morning, from now until tomorrow morning, I will take the 8% vows. 3 times you just think, and 3 times at the end, in the 3rd time you should think, yes, I able to receive the 8% vows in front of the Buddha. Simple Buddha. So since this morning until next morning, I will, maintain the vows. There are how many vows? How many precepts? Only 8. Since this morning, until tomorrow morning, I'm not going to kill any living beings. Yeah, in that day, if you see some, the mosquito or some kind of the ants going out of your kitchen, you just give that, exception that don't kill. See, I'm not going to kill any living beings. You're normally, yes, I'm not. You're not going to, you're not taking, belonging, something belongs to other. Particularly, you must think, since this morning until tomorrow, I'm not going to take anything which belongs to others. Anything. Then third, since this morning until tomorrow morning, I'm not going to do any kind of sexual things, even though you don't talk about the sexual things. The fourth, until today, so since today until next morning, I'm not going to make any lie. Whatever I will say, I will speak truthfully. That you have to be very honest. You have to do that. You have to tell the truth. Not going to do any lying, right? Then, since today, next morning, I'm not going to take any kind of dinner or food after 12. I'm not going to take any kind of alcohol, any type of alcohol. Sometimes you can see, certain drink mixed with the alcohol. Then another one, since today, next morning, I'm not going to sit on the, expensive throne, expensive bed, very high. Normally, you can, whatever you, sit, sleep on the bed is okay. Expensive, higher throne, I'm not going to be sitting. And since this morning, so since this morning until tomorrow, I'm not going to wear, very particular expensive jewelry, expensive clothes. You wear your normal clothes, you wear your normal jewelry. That this is your, receipt. Then this evening, right, so evening you can prepare, the altar, you put some pepper flower or candle, incense, then you lit up the candle, burn the incense, and then invoke all the Buddha, Bodhisattva, Buddha Shakyamuni, and every time you think I'm going to take the vows or precept at precept, at the end you think, yes, I received the vows from the Buddha. So this, since today until next morning, I will, maintain those vows. Very simple, right? So in the future, every like a full moon day or 10th, 15th, important day, you can take a 8% vows in front of the Buddha. Right? You don't have to go to temple. You don't have to receive the vows from the like gurus and master. You can receive from the Buddha. Right? Also, the 8% Mahayan Buddha also can be taken by the full ordained Sangha. Right? So even though that morning also I will take the vows in front of the Buddhas. Then, of course, I think many of you already, you are very pure vegetarian. You're not going to any non-veg food. Particular on the full moon day, on the Vesak day, try to be pure vegetarian. Yeah? No garlic, no onion, no meat. The cheese should be okay. If there's no food available, then it's become going to be exception. Buddha said, don't eat dinner, take only lunch. Buddha didn't say particular we have to be pure vegetarian. But for us, it's better to be pure vegetarian because all the vegetarian food are available, right? And also we are very much emphasize, particular day. Oh, today is a Vesak day. People want to do practice as much as you can, which is very good. For the full, all months, you try to practice Dharma as much as you can, right? This I want to say today. So remember homework. Remember the homework you have to do. Remember the 12 links, dependent or 12, number 12, one from ignorance until to the death. Next time, without looking at your book, you need to remember ignorance, volition, consciousness, so and so. So next Sunday, the test can be random. I'm not asking one by one. You guys ask, you ask, you ask. Okay? Okay, so it's already 11:30s. At the end, we do dedication without reciting any verses. We do a simple way. All the merit we have accumulated in the past, we have accumulated this morning, all merit together. Today we dedicate ourselves, become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. All the merit we have accumulated, we dedicate for flourishing Buddha teaching into 10 direction, benefit all kinds of peoples. We dedicate all the merit to benefit all sentient beings, particularly your ancestors, your relatives, your friends, your neighbors. Last, we dedicate the merit for world peace. Okay, so thank you so much for attending the class. Have a happy Sunday. Have a happy Vesak month. Thank you. Thank you. All the special
Thank you,
wishes.
Shila.
Yes. Okay, bye.